beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Whole Mind Conversation, the podcast where we speak life, faith, and purpose into our daily journey. Today, we're diving into a topic that is dear to our hearts, the power of a praying woman. Yes, I'm not walking this road alone. Sitting with me is Mrs. Jane Osama, woman of faith, a mother, a leader, and a living witness of how prayer can transform lives. Welcome to the show, ma.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for having me.
Let's start simple. When you hear the phrase, a praying woman, what comes to your mind, ma?
A praying woman is a woman who communes daily with God through prayer. Is a woman who has come to the realization that she is just a made creature and that she has a creator. And that she assumed that nothing works without her taking the manual from the real creator. So that is why any woman who you see that terms herself as a praying woman knows how to call down the favor of God upon her. So a praying woman is woman who knows that she is nothing without her creator. So she commutes daily with him for any challenge, for whatever thing she wants to engage in any day. She knows that that is where comes her strength, not by her own power.
Many times, society expects women to carry everything: family, work, and emotion. But prayer shifts the weight. Can you share a personal story of where prayer turned things around in your life?
I'm happy to be here to share this testimony here. I could remember vividly on 20th of December 2017. That was the day my husband was to return from Jerusalem. He went to Israel on a pilgrimage. So on that fateful day, everything about me changed. In the 4:30, 5:30, that was within early hours of the morning. All of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Like all the whole right Mina invaded the house, started destroying things. I didn't understand what that was meant. Before you know what happened, that was how I lost consciousness. I started hearing voices. What is happening? That was an attack that was meant. The intention of the attack was either one, to kill me or to make me mentally unstable.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was the intention of the attack. So I didn't understand what was happening. That spirit invaded my soul, invaded my mind. In fact, I lost control of my mind. I was no longer in control of my mind. Before I knew what happened, that spirit started leading me, destroying things. I didn't know what was happening. But you know what happened? On that, I was just alone with the kids. So all of a sudden, then I had a praying pastor who I commune with. He sensed it in the spirit. So the pastor started calling. Already that spirit has taken control of my mind. The first instruction he gave me was not to pick the call. So when the pastor said I started calling, because I was not under the influence of that spirit, I couldn't pick that call. He kept calling, and I couldn't pick it until their mission was about to be accomplished. So when it was like, it started in that around that 5:30, kept leading me, doing, in fact, the house was shattered in shambles because they kept telling me, destroy this, do this, and do that. And at the end of the day, when I heard the voice that said, now it is time for you to die, that was when I knew that it was no longer a good spirit, because then they made it in such a way for me to think that it was a good spirit leading me. It was until I heard, now it was time for you to die, that was when I knew that something was wrong. Immediately I saw my spirit leaving my body. It has gotten to this place. Then I was holding my baby, she's now 8 years old. I held her, I started praying. That's when I knew that if I don't pray out, my spirit will leave my body. So I started praying. Immediately I ran, went back to that pastor, I picked it, because I said, yes, that it was revealed to him in the spirit. That's why he started calling me. In fact, I should run straight to the church. That was when but the deed was done. Even, in fact, I was 99.9% gone. Yeah. It was just 1%. I would have gone to the road. So that was what happened. I started, in fact, that was the beginning of everything. That was just, made me, I was mentally unstable. Yeah. Let me use that word. I had mental disorder that I can't even think of everything you can think of, depression, hallucination, anxiety, you can name it that's associated with mental disorder. I developed all of it because it was very traumatic. What do? I have children. When my husband came in Ghana, he saw a different being. This wasn't the wife he left in Nigeria, so he saw a different being. That was when he knew that, something has really gone wrong. Then God started praying, but at a point, my people had to come and take me back home. I went to Abia State and the priest there prayed for me. When I came back, those spirits came again. But I knew that God was using it as a sign for me to know that I must develop a personal relationship with Him. Not just people praying for you and you get healed, then you go back to your normal way. So it's just like a way God, say first, God can use any strategy to draw you to Himself. It doesn't matter how difficult, how tough, how traumatic that situation is, but in the end is to draw you back to God Himself. So that's when I understood that it's not just all about people praying for me getting healed, and me start living my normal way. God was just trying to draw me. That's the only way, because probably He must have tried and it didn't work. So that was the only way He could use to draw my attention to Him. And at the end of the day, that was how He led me back to St. Michael, where they gave me a leaflet of divine mercy. The priest now said, just say this divine mercy prayer for 1 week. If those spirits, if whatever that is happening didn't stop, come back to me. Because at a point, those spirits kept following me. I can't walk alone. If I'm walking, I need the spirit behind me. They could be destroying things. People can call it as hallucination, but there are different kinds of attack. Those ones, I don't see them, but I feel them. I know there are spirits at my back. Even to the extent I can't even sleep at home. At a point, I started taking sleeping tablet. Yeah. In fact, when night is coming, I'll be like, I'll become anxious. I'll be, I can't even sleep. I said, what is happening? But it's only when I go to the church to pray, you will see me sleep like a baby. I'll be like, but I discovered that when I go to the church, once I get to the gate of St. Michael Cathedral, those spirits can't enter. That was when I discovered that I can walk alone. So it was later I was asking somebody, said there are guardian angels on every gate of the church who drives out demons. Yeah. So that's when I knew that it is either I surrender.
The power of a praying woman is not in her strength, but in her surrender. What can you tell us about this?
Jesus, I trust in you. Sometimes you can see somebody who tells you, I'm a prayer warrior, I am this. In a nutshell, what the person is saying, that she has the power. She can pray herself. But it's not about your own strength. One thing about prayer is, they say prayer is lifting up our heart and mind to God. Even in that lifting up our mind and our heart to God, we have to surrender. That surrender is total abandonment, total resignation to the divine will of God, that even if what you're praying for is this way you want it answered, God might have a better way. So by the time you humbly abandon yourself to God, you're telling Him, Father, do with me whatever you will, as you will it, when you will it, because you have willed it. So that is how it is. You totally abandon, that means there is no part of you that you have withheld. You have totally given. Say, Jesus, I said, one prayer in Catholic say, Jesus, I love you. All I have is yours. Yours I am. Yours I want to be. Do with me whatever you will. Who knows that God takes priority in his or her life to do that total abandonment. You know, some of us want to say, no, God, I only want
This
it.
is how I want it.
You hear a creature telling a creator how he or she wants things to be done in her life. Say, no, God, my own way. Because he knows the best.
Okay, ma, let's flip the coin.
Okay.
Waiting upon the Lord. What can you tell us?
Waiting upon the Lord is you. The same wholeheartedly trusting in the divine providence of God. That's knowing that you can't go elsewhere apart from God. Waiting wholeheartedly means even if people are profiling solution that might have worked for somebody, you will not accept that solution. You will not. You will trust in the Lord. I could remember during one of my, I don't just want to bring up that. I could remember during my crisis when I was taken home, people started saying, you know, though I'm a twin, she's late. They said it is my twin that has come to take me. You know, so many suggestions. And they were like, I have to go in the traditional way to go and separate myself from the twins. I said, no. If God cannot heal me, let me remain where I am. Yes. I said, no, she has died how many years ago? So, and they said, the living and the dead have nothing in common. Therefore, if God cannot heal me, I go nowhere. And today, what is happening? The Lord has shown himself that all power do what? Belongs to him. So even if you go to anywhere, your solution can never go. Even those who have seen that have gone, it is a repetition now. In fact, the one that will be forwarded, because it's in the Bible say those who pursue other God does what? Increases their sorrow. So when you trust in God and don't look for elsewhere for your relief or for solution, if anything that God cannot do, let it remain undone. If you can wholeheartedly hold God by his word, you will no longer seek for solution elsewhere. You allow him to do it in his own way. So that is how it works. Tell God, it is you or no one else.
Prayer changes us before it changes situations. We just heard it from Mrs. Osama. For women listening today who feel tired, broken, or even doubting God, what encouragement would you give?
Encouragement I will give them is to trust in the mercy of God. That his answers might be delayed but not denied. So if you wholeheartedly trust in God, don't give up. Even when it seems like the answer is not forthcoming. Even when it seems that nothing is changing. Spiritually it is changing, but physically you cannot see it. It is only when God wants it to manifest, that is when you see. So if you are into any challenge that you have prayed and nothing is happening, don't just assume that nothing is happening. Something is happening. Probably God is waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
So that is why you should be patient with yourself, first of all, then be patient with God. Because sometimes we are always in a haste. Answer to our prayer, we want situations solved immediately so that we can be relieved of whatever pain or whatever torment we are having. But God doesn't work that way. So my dear sister, don't give up. Keep praying. As you're praying, something is happening. Keep praying and keep believing and keep trusting. Definitely at God's own time, He will come to your aid. That is my humble encouragement to them.
Thank you. To every woman listening, whether you are a mother, a daughter, a leader, or simply finding your way, remember that prayer is your lifeline. Don't underestimate the power of your knees and the fire in your words. Thank you, Mrs. Jane Osama, for sharing your wisdom and experience with us. If this episode blessed you, share it with another woman who needs to hear this. Until next time, keep your mind whole, your spirits lifted, and never stop praying. Bye-bye.